Hello everyone, I hope you are all fine. Today's story is very beautiful and very helpful. It has a strong life lesson. It also has simple daily life sentences. Please practice this story and repeat it with me. Now let's start. My name is Rohan. I live in a small town where dreams look bigger than buildings. Every morning I wake up before the sun. But my life was always dark inside. People see my smile, but they never see my fear. I was afraid of failure. I was afraid of people laughing at me. I was afraid to try something new. My room was small, but my worries were huge. I always told myself that maybe I am not special. Maybe I was born to live a simple, silent life. But deep inside my heart, a small voice whispered, "Change your life." One day I looked at myself in the mirror. My eyes looked tired and confused. I asked myself, "Rohan, what are you doing?" Years were passing, but nothing was changing. I was waiting for a miracle. But miracles never knock on lazy doors. That day I felt something different. It was pain, but it was powerful pain. I realized that no one is coming to save me. No rich uncle, no lucky chance, no magic. Only me. Only Rohan. I decided to start small, very small. I woke up 30 minutes earlier. I stopped wasting time on useless scrolling. I started reading one page every day. At first it felt boring. My mind wanted comfort. But my heart wanted change. I chose my heart. Every small action felt like a tiny victory. No one clapped for me. But I started respecting myself. People around me did not believe in me. They said Rohan will never change. Some laughed. Some ignored me. It hurt me deeply. But this time I did not stop. I remembered my old life. I remembered my sleepless nights. I remembered my silent tears. That pain became my fuel. Every insult became my motivation. I was slowly becoming stronger. There were days when I wanted to quit. Some mornings felt heavy. Some nights felt lonely. I failed many times. I made mistakes again and again. But this time I did not blame anyone. I took responsibility. I learned from every failure. I told myself, this is part of the journey. Growth is painful, but regret is more painful. So I kept moving. I changed my habits. Then my habits started changing me. I began exercising daily. My body felt active. My mind felt clear. I avoided negative people. I listened to motivational talks. I wrote my goals on paper. Every night I read them again. Slowly, my confidence increased. I was not perfect, but I was better than yesterday. One day, something unexpected happened. An opportunity came to my door. Before, I would have been scared. Before, I would have said no. But this time I said yes. My hands were shaking. My heart was beating fast. But I moved forward. That small step changed everything. Sometimes life tests your courage. If you say yes, doors open. If you say no, a door is closed forever. Success did not come suddenly. It came slowly and silently. People started noticing my change. They asked, "Rohan, what happened to you?" I simply smiled. They saw confidence in my walk. They heard clarity in my voice. They felt strength in my words. I was still the same Rohan, but my mindset was different. And mindset changes destiny. I finally understood this truth. My biggest battle was not outside. It was inside my mind. Negative thoughts attacked me daily. They said, "You are not enough." But now I had a reply. I said, "I am learning." I said, "I am improving." I said, "I am growing." The voice of fear became weaker. The voice of belief became stronger. I was winning my inner war. And that was my real victory. I started helping others. I shared my story openly. Many people related to my pain. Many were struggling silently. I told them my secret. There is no secret. Just discipline. Just patience. Just daily small actions. Change does not need money. Change needs decision. And decision needs courage. Sometimes I sit alone and remember my past. I remember that broken version of me. I feel proud of that Rohan, because he did not give up. Today my life is not perfect, but it is meaningful. I still face problems, but I do not run away. I face them with courage. I believe in myself now. I respect my journey. I trust my process. Every sunrise feels like a gift. Every day feels like a new chance. I am not lucky. I am disciplined. If you are listening to this, listen carefully. I was not special. I was not talented. I was not rich. I was just tired of my old life. That was my turning point. The day you get tired of excuses, that day your life will change. Maybe you are waiting for the perfect time, but perfect time never comes. Your life will change the moment you decide, and that moment can be today. After that day, my journey did not stop. In fact, it truly began. Life started testing me in new ways. New responsibilities came. New challenges appeared. And sometimes, new fears returned. There were moments when my old self tried to come back. The lazy Rohan. The scared Rohan. The overthinking Rohan. That voice whispered, "This is too hard. You can rest now. You have done enough." But I had learned something important. Growth never says, "Enough." It says, "Keep going." So I kept going. I started setting bigger goals. Not impossible goals, but uncomfortable ones. I joined a public speaking class. The first day, my legs were shaking. My voice was not stable. Some people looked bored. Some looked at their phones. For a second, I wanted to run away. But then I remembered my promise to myself. I will not escape anymore. I will face everything. I finished my speech. It was not perfect, but it was brave. And bravery changed me again. Weeks passed. I improved slowly. I learned how to speak clearly. I learned how to control my fear. I learned how to look people in the eyes. One day, after my presentation, someone clapped first. then another, then the whole room. That sound was not just applause. It was proof. Proof that change is real. Proof that effort works. Proof that discipline wins. But the biggest reward was not the claps. It was the confidence inside me. I no longer needed validation. I no longer feared judgment. I understood something powerful. People will always talk. But your life is not their responsibility. It is yours. I started helping my family more. I managed my time better. I planned my days the night before. I protected my energy. Slowly, opportunities increased. Not because I was lucky, but because I was ready. That is the secret most people ignore. Opportunity comes to everyone, but only the prepared person can hold it. There were still failures. There were still hard days. But now failure did not break me. It trained me. I stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And I started asking, "What is this teaching me?" That question changed everything. Years ago, I was afraid of being seen. Now I was afraid of wasting my potential. I realized something very deep. Pain can destroy you, or pain can build you. The choice is always yours. Today, when I wake up before sunrise, I no longer feel darkness inside. I feel purpose, and purpose is stronger than fear. If you are still struggling, if you still doubt yourself, if you still feel small, remember this. I was once there too. I was once lost. I was once afraid. But I decided, and decision created discipline. Discipline created confidence. Confidence created change. Your story is not finished. This chapter may be hard, but the next chapter can be powerful. Just don't close the book. As time passed, my life became busier. But this time, I was busy building, not escaping. One evening, I received an email. It was from a company where I had applied months ago. I had almost forgotten about it. They invited me for an interview. For a moment, my heart started racing again. The old fear knocked softly on my mind. What if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? But something inside me was different now. I did not try to silence the fear. I simply said, "Come with me. Watch me try." On the day of the interview, I wore my simplest but cleanest clothes. I looked at myself in the mirror again. This time, my eyes were not confused. They were focused. I entered the room. 3 interviewers were sitting across the table. They looked serious. They asked difficult questions. Some I answered well. Some I struggled with. One question I could not answer at all. In the past, that moment would have broken me. I would have felt small. I would have given up inside. But this time, I smiled and said, "I don't know the answer yet, but I am willing to learn." The room became silent for a second. Then one of them smiled. After the interview, I walked outside. I did not know if I would get the job, but I felt proud. Because I showed up. Because I tried. Because I did not run away. A week later, I got the call. I was selected. For a few seconds, I could not speak. I just closed my eyes and remembered the old Rohan, the boy who was afraid to even dream big. Tears rolled down my face. Not tears of sadness. Tears of gratitude. That job was not just a job. It was a symbol of discipline, a symbol of courage, a symbol of self-belief. My journey did not suddenly become easy. Work was challenging. Deadlines were tight. Mistakes still happened. But now I had a strong foundation. I trusted myself. Whenever I felt stressed, I remembered my journey. I remembered how far I had come. And I realized something powerful. Success is not about reaching the top. It is about becoming stronger at every step. I started saving money. I started learning new skills. I started investing in my growth. People who once laughed at me now asked me for advice. I did not feel angry. I did not feel proud. I felt thankful, because they were part of my story too. Their doubts made me stronger. One night, I sat quietly under the open sky. The same small town, the same streets, the same sunrise waiting for tomorrow. But I was not the same. I whispered to myself, "This is just the beginning." And for the first time in my life, I truly believed it. Months turned into years. The job that once felt like a dream slowly became my training ground. Every project taught me something new. Every mistake polished my character. Every challenge shaped my confidence. But success has its own tests. One day, I made a serious mistake at work. A report I prepared had wrong data. Because of that error, the company lost an important client. My manager called me into his office. The room felt smaller than ever. My palms were sweating. My heart was heavy. This was the moment. The old Rohan wanted to make excuses. The old Rohan wanted to blame someone else. The old Rohan wanted to hide. But I took a deep breath and said, "Sir, it was my mistake. I am sorry. I will fix it." He looked at me for a long moment. Then he said something I will never forget. "Mistakes are acceptable. Avoiding responsibility is not." That day I learned another powerful lesson. Character is built in difficult moments. I worked extra hours. I corrected the problem. I contacted the client personally. I apologized with honesty. It took time, but slowly we rebuilt the trust. Something changed after that incident. My manager started trusting me more. Not because I was perfect, but because I was responsible. I understood something deeper. Confidence does not come from success alone. It comes from surviving failure with integrity. Outside of work, my life was growing too. I began mentoring a few students in my town. Young boys who reminded me of my old self. Quiet, afraid, full of hidden potential. I told them my story. I told them about fear. I told them about discipline. I told them about small daily actions. One of them asked me, "Bia, what if we fail again and again?" I smiled and replied, "Then fail better each time." They laughed. But I was serious. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the teacher of success. As I guided them, I realized something beautiful. The journey was never only about me. It was about becoming strong enough to light someone else's path. One evening, while walking home, I passed by my old house. The same small room, the same window, the same mirror. I stood there for a moment. That room once felt like a prison. Now it felt like the place where a warrior was born. I whispered softly, "Thank you for the struggle, because without the darkness, I would never respect the light." Today, I still wake up before sunrise. But now, I wake up with purpose. I wake up with gratitude. I wake up with belief. And I know one truth for sure. Your beginning does not decide your future. Your decisions do. And every single day, you get a new decision. Life was moving forward beautifully. But just when everything felt stable, another storm arrived. The company where I worked started facing financial problems. Rumors spread quickly. People whispered in corners. Meetings became serious. Smiles became rare. One morning, we were called to the main hall. The announcement was short and heavy. The company was downsizing. Some employees would lose their jobs. My heart started beating fast again. Not because I was afraid of hard work, but because uncertainty is always uncomfortable. A week later, I received the letter. My position was no longer needed. For a few seconds, the world felt silent. After all the effort, after all the growth, I was unemployed again. That night, I sat alone. I allowed myself to feel the pain. I did not pretend to be strong. I did not say, "It's okay," immediately. I just felt it. But something inside me was calm. The old Rohan would have broken. He would have said, "See, you were never good enough." But the new Rohan said, "This is not the end. This is a redirection." The next morning, I woke up before sunrise again. Not because I had to go to work, but because discipline is not connected to a job. It is connected to identity. I updated my resume. I contacted people. I started learning new skills online. I attended free workshops. I improved my communication even more. Days passed. Rejections came. "Thank you for applying. We regret to inform you. Not selected." Each email tested my patience. But this time, rejection did not define me. I kept reminding myself, a closed door is not a closed life. One afternoon, while helping one of my students with his project, an idea came to me. Why not start something of my own? It was risky. It was uncertain. It was uncomfortable, which meant it was growth. I began small, very small. I started offering online coaching sessions about self-discipline and confidence. At first, only 2 people joined. 2 people. But I treated them like a full audience. I prepared seriously. I spoke with passion. I shared honestly. Those 2 people told others. 4 became 8. 8 became 15. Slowly, something beautiful was building again. Not a job. A purpose. I realized something powerful. Sometimes life removes something good to make space for something greater. Losing my job did not destroy me. It revealed me. Today, I do not fear uncertainty anymore, because I have built something stronger than income. I have built belief. And when belief becomes your foundation, storms cannot break you. They only make you stronger.